My name is Brandon Cole. I'm 28 years old. I live in Adams, Friendship, Wisconsin, and I'm a die-hard bow fisherman. My day job, I'm a heating and air conditioning technician. And any chance I get, I guess I'd like to call myself a professional outdoorsman. I don't get paid by no one, but that's what I call myself. I spend my whole life pretty much pursuing wildlife and sticking carp. I belong to a club called the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association. We shoot 6 to 8 tournaments a year. We're a very competitive group of individuals. At any one tournament, there could be 30 to 50 boats show up. So it's always a very competitive time. This year I've shot in 4 of the 5 tournaments that we've shot, or that they've hosted. And my team has taken 2 first places, a second place, and we just got done and took 4th place here this past weekend. I've also, this year in these tournaments, they have a thing called the Big Fish Award, and we've shot 3 big fish during them tournaments and received a pretty large award for shooting the biggest fish. One tournament this year that I'm particularly proud of is the state championship tournament, where my team took 1st place and we won both the big fish categories. So we walked out of there with a big chunk of change and $1,200. I am also the current state record holder for the largest sucker shot, and I guess I'll tell you a little story of my best fish that I've ever killed. It was a 20-pound koi. Me and my identical twin brother, we chased it for 7.5 years. We lived on the lake, so we chased him on pretty much a daily basis. Took 7.5 years, but one morning I woke up, was going to a different bow fishing tournament on a different lake, and I looked down and just happened to have all my bow fishing equipment sitting right there, and sure enough, that great big koi swam by the dock, and I run down there and shot him. And that was probably the most memorable fish I've ever shot, and the best trophy that I have in my opinion. Some of the skill sets I believe I have that would be perfect for your competition is we stay out all night long shooting carp. These tournaments go from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, so I'm used to competing in a high-stress environment and being under constant fatigue. So I believe I would be a perfect fit for your competition. I feel confident in saying that I could overcome any obstacles you put in my way and any challenges you throw at me. I thank you for taking the time to consider me for your show, and I hope that I can say someday that I'm America's next top hooker. Alright, let's go see if we can't shoot some fish. Gotta be really stealthy during the day, much more than at night. Here comes some. Let's see if we can't get him. Alright. Stoned him right in the head. And yes, there were some carp hurt in the making of this video. Another one bites the dust. Game over, Mr. Fishy. Game over. time of year the fish really like to spawn, so they're up in the shallows splashing around. We do this because they overpower lakes and they threaten native game species. That's 3 fish in about 2 minutes. If you're using hook and line, it's going to take you a lot longer than that to catch 3 fish. Right now the fish this time of year are spawning, and that's what we're chasing after. You see them up there splashing. This is their breeding season, and they're bumping and grinding, I guess if you want to call it that, making babies. Guys like me running around killing them. Another one bites the dust. No more making babies for this bad guy. Well, this is your basic setup for what you would need for a bow fishing rig to go out and shoot carp. This is a 18-foot John boat. It wouldn't have to be that nice and that fancy to be a bow fishing boat, but this back here is the generator. The generator puts out 120 volts of power, which supplies these 6 lights that I have up front, and that's what we use for when we go out at night. It shines the water and then illuminates the fish. And one of the biggest complaints we get with the lights when we're shooting these tournaments is there'll be 50 of these boats running around out there making all kinds of noise and carrying on, and a lot of times homeowners that live on the lake, they'll call the cops and say, hey man, there's a bunch of spaceships running around out on the lake. Well, no, it's just us out there shooting carp all night long. But also we use a trolling motor, and the trolling motor for this particular rig is what propels us through the water. There's other boats that have air fans and that kind of stuff, but this is more of just a trolling boat. I guess I'd like to show you my bow. My bow, that does all the killing. It's just a standard, basically just kind of a standard bow, but it's meant for bow fishing. It has a reel that's real similar to what people use for fishing, except this is also meant for bow fishing. And then basically you got the arrow on, you pull back, shoot. When you hit your fish or miss, you reel it in, and it's as simple as that. And that's the basic bow fishing equipment. As I talked about earlier, this is that 20-pound koi that I killed. This is probably my favorite trophy that I have on the wall. We kind of think it come from the local fair, and some kid must have released it into the pond, or into the lake. I'm sorry, and that's where we figured this big old girl came from. It took us 7.5 years to get her, and I finally ended up sticking it. As you can see around me, I have a lot of trophies on the wall. I'm an avid hunter, bow fisherman, and trapper. And again, I want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to consider me for your competition. And I hope you pick me to be on America's Next Top Hooker. Thanks for your time.